So, hey, I'm happy for Montreal. Listen, I love looking at that jersey. The white is just as nice as the red. The beautiful sea. I'm happy for them. But they're not going to win this series. Right now, that's all I have. What do you have on the game last night?
A couple of things. The red eyes.
Whoa, wait a minute. I wanted to say that. Jeff Petrie, I thought he was hurt. All of a sudden, he's playing a 200-foot game as a defenseman. Zing, zing, zing. I'm watching him controlling the game going, I thought he was hurt. I thought he was blind. Can't believe what you read in the media, I guess.
Seriously, like he looks like a Marvel villain, in a superhero movie. It's insane. But you know what? It just seems like there's no ego in that Montreal room, and they've got things sorted out. The leaders, the veterans are there. The young guys doing their thing, and they don't need to score a lot for them to win. They got Carey Price, and he'll do his thing. And he's laughing in a one-goal game at the end. Like the guy never feels pressure. It feels like he's never looks worried. And for Vegas, I mean, they need somebody other than their defenseman to score. That's just the end of it, right? They need somebody other than the D-men to find the back of the net. And they will, but wasn't happening last night. And tough one. Montreal got their split. We're going to have a series.
Yeah. I had eyes like that in Vegas once, too. So I just kind of wondered. I just wondered if those were Vegas eyes that Jeff Petrie had last night. But I'm just telling you, he looked great. I see Ryan McCarthy is watching in Saratoga, New York. He says, YouTube's down again. I'm joining the Facebook side. Good day, everyone, from sunny and cool Saratoga, New York. Yeah, YouTube's down again. So thank you for informing us of that, Ryan. I appreciate it. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, rumors of the Montreal Canadiens' death was greatly exaggerated. And I see Jen at the Four Seasons Sports Palace. She says, good morning, crew. Montreal looked better, or was Vegas that bad? Vegas, it wasn't a good game for the Vegas Golden Knights. It happens. It is kind of hard to keep the pedal to the metal the whole way through. So we got a series. And then I got to move on. But I will say this. YouTube's down. We're not on Game Plus TV because we've been bumped by... Oh, we are... Well, Clark's telling me we are on YouTube, so I don't know what the heck. I just sit here and talk. I'm not the tech guy. But anyways, I got all these guys there, and I was telling you before the show, writing me going, who at Game Plus can I email about you guys not being on, being bumped for gaming? I'm like, oh, here's Sean McCormick's email. Write him. He's the head of programming at Game Plus TV. All the people that have written me complaining about us not being on Game Plus this week are hockey guys. And dare I say, older hockey guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys that aren't going to go to watch on Facebook. They're sitting out in Western Canada, Alberta, BC, and they're just used to watching Game Plus every day on their cable. They're not going to go to Facebook or YouTube, all right? So I thought it was funny that it's the hockey guys that are upset, and that's it. I'll get to your comments first, but this is This is the warm-up, proudly brought to you by eCall Electric, your complete electrical distributor with locations in Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. eCall Electric, let's get to work. I'm not going to spend as much time on point 2, which is Tampa Bay at the Islanders tonight. What's more needs to be said? 6 p.m. Mountain. Of course, I'll be watching. Series is 1-1. Point 3, Ross Stripling loses it on the mound last night in Buffalo. Blue Jays and Yankees. You saw it. Right? Jays were up 2-1 to the Yankees, and Joe Panik thinks he's going to hot dog it. Bare hand, a little bouncer to third. Whew. Nowhere near Vladdy at first base, and it cues the comeback for the Yankees, and Toronto's got to stop blowing games. I understand what everybody's so mad about. It's turned into a trend, not a fad, what the Blue Jays are doing.
Right.
But Stripling, tripping all over himself in the post-game news conference. He lost his mind on Joe Panik. You saw that.
I did.
Wasn't good. Everybody's ripping Ross Stripling for doing that. I got a little more patience for him than most, I think, in that who hasn't lost it in the heat of the moment? And Ross Stripling does not make a habit of doing that. So, and you remember what the Jays, when they swept a series here a while back, they said, we are family.
Yeah.
Have you ever lost it on a member of your family? What time is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And when you don't mean to and you feel bad after. But
right. That's Ross Stripling. We can still be family.
It reminds me of the Ovechkin on the bench, too, when he did that after the bad overtime goal. Yeah. You want that. Like, you should be upset when guys make mistakes and hold people accountable. It's just unfortunate that it happens publicly, right? You don't want to publicly shame somebody for a mistake, but, he owned it and immediately owned it. But it was a bad look. It was a bad look on him to lose his cool.
Well,
like
no. It's not a good thing, and it can't continue. It's like Mike Smith in goal for the Oilers gunning his defenseman for a turnover or something. It's like you can't do it. I'm not excusing Ross Stripling, but at least can we give the guy a second chance? It was a heat of the moment thing. Yeah, that's our take on that. Point 3, because there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. CFL stuff. A lot of things here. AJ Gass stepping down as Edmonton Elks assistant coach yesterday for personal reasons. We wish him well. There's not just a report. Rough Riders GM Jeremy O'Day saying yesterday that the Riders and Bombers are discussing joint practices. And it's got a lot of people saying, what are joint practices? It's a fancy term for scrimmages. That's what it is. And I guess I heard the Stampeders and Elks are planning the same thing. And so what do we think about that? It all seems great, right? You're going to get the geographical rivals together, and they're going to have preseason games against each other because they're not allowed to have preseason games. I hope they can. And I wouldn't think, I talked to Dunk this morning, and he's like, I think that's probably going to happen. They're talking about it. It looks like it will happen. But you have to understand sports people, and they're not wrong. You're going to have BC sitting out there in Montreal, the guys that don't really have cousins, geographical cousins. Let's just say BC. They're going to go, well, we don't have anybody to have a joint practice against. It creates a significant competitive imbalance. I don't have a problem with it, but this is just how sports people look at things. So I just wonder if Randy Ambrosie will put his fist down and say, everybody has joint practices or nobody has joint practices. I don't know if he'll do that or not. And secondly, from the health authority people from province to province to province, it's like we already said you can't have preseason games, so why are you doing this? But I wouldn't think the teams are talking about it if they didn't think they could do it. I'm all for it. I don't know if it's going to be in Mosaic Stadium or at the U of R field or at Leibel Field where the minor football teams play. But I'm just examining it from all angles. They're going to try and find some loophole to be able to play, to get ahead and get a look at their guys. We'll see if it happens.
Look, they do this in the NFL every year.
Yes.
Every single year they do this in the National Football League.
Except last year, I don't think they did.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right in the middle of the pandemic. But they do this all the time. And I know for the Titans, I think they're going to have joint practices with the Bucs again, Vrabel and Brady. They have fun. And they go do their own thing. They take half the field, and they do their own thing, and then they come together to do some drills, and they, the Riders offense will go against the Winnipeg defense in one-on-ones and in some other drills, and there won't be any contact. It's not going to look like a preseason game. It's not going to look like a preseason game. They're not going to roll it there and just do a full scrimmage, but they're going to do their O&D drills together. They're going to do their Skelly drills and all those different things that they do against each other, and it just gives you an opportunity to hit somebody else if they're in contact. There might not even be contact in these joint practices, but just an opportunity to have some, they call them live bullets, but to have these sessions against somebody different and simulate some of that game atmosphere and what else is out there. I think it's fine. I think, BC's going to have to figure it out. They are. Not every NFL team does joint practices, and they seem to turn out okay.
I see people writing in, and I get it. Okay, I misspoke. It's happened a couple times before. Tim Capper, watching on Facebook, says, Rod, Montreal and Ottawa can team up for a scrimmage. I forgot for a second how many teams there were in the CFL. So there's one odd team that won't be able to get their joint scrimmage in with anybody, and you just named them the BC Lions. So is Randy Ambrosie going to go, deal with it, Rick Lawlisher and Rick Campbell? Maybe he will.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be happy about it. And then another one here. Oh, by the way, the Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. And the last I looked, it's on a charger. So we'll get that in the break. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Vaccinations are a thing. I'm mentioning all the hurdles that the CFL faces right now. I don't think they're big, but there are still hurdles, and one is the vaccinations. There are some players that have told me not only do they not have one shot, they don't want to get a shot. And there's some conjecture in the NFL going on with guys that don't want to be vaccinated versus the guys that have 1 shot or 2 shots and how your life's going to be different. It would seem that we will be able to roll around bulletproof when we have our 2nd shot. I think. I mean, the border's still closed. I don't really know. But there's a difference in the way life's going to go for CFL players, whether you're vaccinated or not, I guess is my point. They're not out of the woods here. And what did the premier of this province say yesterday? Did you see what he said? He said, we're not telling you to get a shot. If you want to gamble, go ahead with not getting a vaccination, but the prize isn't what you think. That's what Scott Moe said yesterday. So I'm just saying, I've had players outright tell me they're not getting a shot for whatever their various reasons are. That can't be good for the CFL. I wouldn't think.
No, and they'll have to make a decision on what that means, right? Because you talk about, and that's part of getting health officials to agree to a season and to letting fans in the building is that, look at our players are safe or we're up to 70% vaccinated. You know, maybe that'll include, 70% of your team must be vaccinated. I don't know. Maybe they'll say, look at if you're not double vaccinated, you can't travel or you can't. I don't really know where it's going to go, but it's not great. And they'll have some decisions to make on what they do with it.
I don't know how the topic came up here, but I see Neil Shuchuk watching in Whitecourt, Alberta, says it's only a matter of time before vaccinations are part of a player's contract. I could see it. Dean Tix, watching in Green Bay, Wisconsin, says the paper tickets are gone for Packers games now, too. E-tickets only. I see Jacques Dupuis in Ottawa says no more paper tickets, only on your phone now. So that's too bad. We all kind of I liked having that paper ticket, so they're gone. In my mind, something just jogged in my head. It's, what if I don't have a phone? There are those people, right? And I remember being in Anaheim hosting a sports trip down there, and after a Ducks-Oilers game, all the guys that were on my sports trip that I was hosting got Ubers and went back to the hotel. It was like 2-mile walk from the Honda Center to the hotel. And so they Ubered it. And then there was some people that had to walk. And one of the guys on my trip was older, and he said to me the next morning, he's like, I don't have a cell phone. I don't have Uber, and there was no cabs there. And I'm like, it sounds like a you problem.
It does.
Sorry.
It does.
Get a smartphone, get Uber. Get a smartphone, get your tickets. You got to get with it. Don't get vaccinated, but then don't be upset when you can't play CFL football.
Well, and here's an opportunity to upsell at the Rider store, the Bomber store, the Ticats store is you'll start selling $100 e-readers or like little simple web devices where you can just go to your email and pull up your ticket. But yeah, that's part of it. And you know what? The biggest thing I'm worried about is like my phone dying because I'm on that thing taking photos and videos of the pregame festivities and I can see the phone going down to 1% and being worrying about getting in.
That sounds like a you problem.
It does, doesn't it? They'll be selling chargers like crazy too.
Exactly. We'll be back with Mike Morreale, the commissioner of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. The warm-up's brought to you by eCall Electric. And you're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's episode 508 of the RP Show, Canada's daytime sports talk show. Just ahead of CEBL Commissioner Mike Morreale, they announced yesterday, following the launch of its new OTT streaming service, CEBL Plus, the Canadian Elite Basketball League announced Wednesday the launch of a new video series on the platform titled CEBL Weekly. The show will provide fans a rundown on upcoming CEBL games, latest news, rankings, analysis, interview features, guests, and more throughout the 2021 season. The first episode is set to launch at 11 a.m. Eastern on June 24th, the same day as the first game of the season featuring the Ottawa Blackjacks and Niagara River Lions. New episodes will be available every Thursday moving forward, so that's something to look forward to as we bring in our longtime friend Mike Morreale, the commissioner of the Loop. And Mike, nice to see you smiling. It's almost here, my man. Teams are practicing. We're ready. How you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better than I did for the last 16 months. So that's good. I'm excited about the fact that, you know, we're able to bounce some basketballs again and get players back on the court. Some of our teams are already into day 2 or 3 of training camp. Sask is just around the corner, and it's exciting times now.
Yeah, I saw that. The Blackjacks are a few days in because they've had their media day and everything, and it's so exciting. I don't even know where to go from here other than, can you just tell me what the last couple of months have been like for you, Mike? Because I know you delayed the start of the season like by 3 weeks, and then you didn't know what the crowds were going to be. You haven't really announced what it is yet. So you sitting on some announcements here or what?
Well, I think, you know, we're in a pretty good position now, certainly in Alberta and Saskatchewan, that the thought of fans in the building is a realistic one. And if you look at some of the reopening plans in both provinces, as July hits, things open up, and in some cases open wide up. So what does that mean to fans in the building, their comfort level? That's something we're working on now. You know, I'm happy to say we'll be the first league to welcome back fans in this country. I know in some cases there's been healthcare workers, and in Montreal, of course, there's been fans for hockey. But as a Canadian domestic league, it's something we're really proud of and really working towards. In Ontario, I think it's highly unlikely, maybe towards the end of our season, but probably beyond it. And in BC, we can hold out hope. But just getting back to playing, getting into our market, something that we were told for the last, since we finished our summer series that we couldn't do. We just don't like to take no for an answer. We believed in the vaccinations. We believed in this country coming together to get them and to help move us forward to returning to play.
Mike, a lot of questions coming in from viewers here. And for those that just tuned in, Mike Morreale, the commissioner of the Canadian Elite Basketball League, is with us. I was going to read a couple of comments here. Jeff Scoggins says, hey, Rod, greetings from Dallas, Texas. Dean Tick says he's in Green Bay. U.S. Open at Torrey Pines starts today. So, yeah, just everybody. It's a great time in sports. From Daryl in Toronto, for Mike, why did you decide to keep the Elam ending as a permanent staple of the CEBL? Because we saw it last year in the summer series. And Mike, I'm dumb. I'm just a dumb hayseed hick farm kid. I can't get my head around the Elam ending. Can you dumb it down for a guy like me?
I could certainly do that. So the Elam ending is also known as the target score. It's been used in the last 2 NBA All-Star games. Most people remember it from the celebration of Kobe's life, where they added 24 points to the leading team going into the fourth quarter. That's the Elam ending, and you can modify it as you like. So what it does is, in our case, at the 4-minute mark of the final quarter, the clock shuts off. Whatever the score is at that particular point, let's say it's 80 to 82, we add 9 points to the leading score. So the target score now becomes 91, and both teams chase the target score. There is no clock to hold you back other than, of course, the 24-second shot clock. And everything else is back to basics. Next bucket wins. Every game finishes on a winning bucket. Every game finishes with a ton of excitement. And you don't get that bogged down last quarter where 2 minutes literally takes 30 minutes in the NBA and the NCAA, et cetera. You know, the team that's trailing just fouls away and hopes to get people to the line to hopefully get back possession of the ball. And really, it's cheating the system. It's breaking the basketball rules to try and get back in a game. Well, the Elam kind of eliminates that, and it's all been done through Dr. Nick Elam, who's a member of Mensa and a lot smarter than me when it comes to data and numbers. So even from our summer series, he evaluated every single game, compared them to about 4,000 or 5,000 games he has on record, and then the data pours out. You know, time of possession, chances of the losing team coming back, what the actual time elapses versus what it would elapse in an NCAA or an NBA game, and you just can't beat the data. Yeah, you know, this is a game that in sports survives on data. The beauty of it, you know, when we welcome fans back, is that it's a thrilling way to do it. It's very exciting. It's very wide open. It's very fast paced, and you got to be prepared for it.
So timing was the biggest reason to fit in a window? Was it timing?
It was a better way to finish a game. Timing certainly has a lot to do with it, because people, as you know, their attention spans are short and getting shorter. So we play a FIBA game because you're in and out in 2 hours. And that's important to the way that we structure our games in the entertainment package.
Yeah, no kidding. So this is what interviews like this do, Mike. William May is watching in Lloydminster. He says, CEBL, I guess I'll have to find a team like the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Well, I don't know. Look at a map, Mike. Lloyd's right between Edmonton and Saskatoon. So you could do Edmonton Stingers, the defending champions, but I would suggest the Saskatchewan Rattlers because they have the nicest gear in the entire league. Donald Mitchell is watching and says, so what the CEBL has done with streaming in conjunction with CBC has made the CFL TSN deal absolutely Byzantine in comparison. Well, again, that's a $20 word that I don't understand, so we won't compare that to CFL TSN. But CBC, it's gargantuan for you, Mike. Gargantuan, I would think, what it means for your league.
Yeah, CBC was a partner that was really and is very important to us because they provide free access to basically every TV set across the country. And it's our way to establish our brand and showcase our brand and not have to make people pay for it. We want to showcase what we do. We'll monetize our brand in other ways and over time, but we want to be accessible. It's an Olympic sport for CBC. It's a sport that is, in popularity amongst teenagers, the fastest growing and the coolest and the first among immigrants. And this country is shaped by multiculturalism and immigration, and that continues to grow. So CBC provides us with linear broadcasts, TV broadcasts, apps or games through their app, CBC Gem, through CBC cbcsports.ca, and we do international deals with CBC's blessing across the entire world. And we just launched our own media and content platform called CBL Plus. And again, it will be free in Canada because we feel it's important that people can experience the type of game we play. And the type of game we play is unbelievable. It's the best basketball outside of the Raptors without a question. All our players are professional. All of them have either played in the NBA, in the G League, at major college programs north and south of the border, as well as huge big-time programs in European basketball. And if you look at the world rankings for basketball, the majority of the world rankings are with teams that have strong, or leagues that have strong, countries that have strong domestic leagues. And, you know, this is what the CEBL will continue to do for basketball in this country.
Andrew Nielsen watching on Facebook says CEBL is a great product, going to grow even more. And it is. And Mike, you've always been, your enthusiasm's infectious, but I just feel it off of you. And I just wonder how you guys in this tough time have been able to grow. Just getting onto the court last year was amazing in St. Catharines, and it was awesome. And now this year you're back for year 3. How have you stayed alive and grown in a time where most leagues have not been able to?
Perseverance, togetherness, I think goal setting. I can throw out all those buzzwords. We just have no fear of failure. So if we're going to put our mind to it, we're going to do everything we can to knock down those obstacles in our way. And that's why we were the first league in the entire country to return to play last year. And I've said I didn't want to be the first. We just happened to be. And we'll be the first league in the entire country to welcome back fans in some way, shape, or form. And the first league probably to play in most markets back-to-back seasons without fans. So what we're doing is just hard work. It's the commitment to doing it together. We got the buy-in from our players and our coaches and our executives and our front offices across the league. And we didn't predicate any of this on fans in the stands. What's important to us is getting our players and coaches and support staff on a court to continue to grow this league and to continue to celebrate Canadian basketball. And we are, growing on a daily basis. The game is growing monumentally across the country. And if the Team Canada, men's or women's, are able to medal coming up this summer, that could be just another launching point for this league and for basketball in general.
Bruce Simpson's watching in Edmonton, says, great people working in the CEBL, true pros. There's no doubt about that. Mike, since I have you, is there a ratio in the CEBL? Somebody asked me that recently, and I didn't know the answer to it.
Absolutely. Very proudly Canadian. We mandate 70% of our rosters are Canadian. We actually play north of 80%. So the talent level, Canadian versus American versus international, is inconsequential. It's the same. We have dynamic talent everywhere. The players that play in our league play under major contracts all over the world and come back at a downtime in their FIBA schedules to play with us. And they don't take plays off. They don't take games off. They're all ready to make the next step in their pro careers, and they leave us to join the same team or another team overseas, and then they come back again. So we found a destination to showcase these top players that have left us, from NCAA to Canadian college to overseas. We never see them again. We're bringing them back home and celebrating them. And at the same time, we're utilizing the U Sports system to help grow the next pathway for the grassroots level beneath it. So it is a ecosystem that we work within, and it's all headed up by Canada Basketball, and we're all looking at the same common goal, which is growing the game.
I'm going to ask you one more question before I let you go. Chris Bird's watching in Toronto. He says, Mike, there's another Canadian-based basketball league out there. Do you see any cooperation or collaboration in the future?
Well, we really exist at two different times. They play in the typical winter season. They play completely different rules. They're not affiliated with Canada Basketball. We are the official league of this country. We're proud of it. Our mandate is very different than theirs. So have we spoken? Yes, of course. But we're on a trajectory and a path that we have blazed. And I'm not sure it makes sense to work together. I don't think at this particular time it does. We wish them all the best. And truthfully, having a winter league and a spring and summer league allows for more basketball to be played and more opportunities for players. So the way it is right now is fine by us. We don't overlap or really interact in any sort of negative way. And we all serve the same purpose, which is providing opportunities.
Another one. Adam Wagner, watching in Halifax, says, Mike, what's the chance of a team coming out this way?
I think there's a good chance. I think if you look at the trajectory we are on, we're going to Montreal in 2022. We are going to be another team announced in 2022, so we'll be at 9 for sure, potentially 10. But if it is 9, we will be moving to 14 to 16 teams in the next 3 to 5 years. And that includes places out east. It includes Quebec City. It includes Winnipeg. It includes Calgary. It includes another team in the Vancouver area and another team in the GTA. So we certainly have a plan in place, and we already have a Rolodex of people behind all of those opportunities that want to see it happen. So we'll just continue to work hard. I don't think we can ever sit back and think what we're doing is great and fantastic. You can't work hard at it. We're just going to continue to work hard, continue to improve. And I think what you'll see in addition to our domestic expansion and what's maybe missing here domestically, and it may just be the Canadian thing of how we handle our sports and everything that's Canadian, is we're probably more recognized internationally as a basketball league than we are domestically. So that will change, but we're going to continue to grow our international side because that's going to take us all over the world, representing this country under the CEBL or team banners. And those are things we'll unveil in the somewhat near future, and some really exciting growth opportunities for our league.
I think the one viewer that said earlier that it's a great product really nailed it. It's an awesome product. You guys are smart guys. All you got to do is just get it out in front of people, which is what you're doing. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, I propose the Calgary Towers for a team name. Hey, that's cool. I like it. Let's get a team there and let's get rolling. I should just mention, I watched the documentary on the CBC a Saturday afternoon a few weeks ago. What they call it, Our Game. That was pretty cool, Mike. The bubble story. Yep. It was like the NBA in Canada. I thought it was cool. What'd you think?
Yep. You know, I was really happy to showcase the behind the scenes. And we left people out. I mean, there's so many people that are part of what we do. It's hard to condense 26 to 40 days over 90 minutes. But I think Ward 1, who put it together, did a fantastic job along with our people here. And it's a peeling back of the curtains to say, hey, we got some really good stuff going on here too. And you should take notice because it's important. It's a part of the fabric of the communities we play in. We want to engage with those communities, and one of the very big reasons we wanted to go back to playing in our home markets this year. And we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to grow, and you will hear of us, whether we force feed it to you or just as we continue to grow. Good things tend to happen when you've got a good plan in place.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're covering the CEBL in our sports updates and talking about it every single day, Mike. So I appreciate the time today. I'll be looking for you at SaskTel Center, and good luck with tip-off here.
Well, thanks, guys. Rod, you've been a great supporter of everything that I've had my hands in. So thank you very much, and best of luck. We'll talk to you soon.
Bet. Thanks, Kamish. Mike Morreale joining us from his home office. We'll take a time out and come back with a sports update. You're watching the RP Show. Preempted from Game Plus Television this week. Don't at me. But we are live on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Well, when I first started playing, the scholarship was so important to me. I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a gas station, and I used to actually line the field for the team to get paid just to make some extra money.
I think for me, the opportunities that the scholarships provide is very important, or very specifically the stress it alleviates for myself.
The Rams give me the opportunity to buy everything that I need to get the best grades that I can, and that'll lead to me getting hopefully the best job that I can in the future.
There wasn't a scholarship opportunity with the Rams. I know that life would have been a lot more difficult for myself. I'm not too sure exactly how much longer I would have been able to play beyond my first year.
With the opportunity that they provided for me to go through school with the financial support and with the opportunity to continue to play football, now that I look back on it, was the most important thing in my life.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Clark saying in my ear, solo performance coming up from RP, and that's a fact. I don't know where Moose is. He left. He's gone. Doing business, I'm sure. So, can you handle it with me? I'm going to read some text messages here. If you got some comments, here's your chance. Just me and you. On the Prairie Mobile text line, Ray in the 6 writes in. He says, hey, Rod, I have to admit, all the CFL talk lately has been positive. Starting to get excited for my Argos. I'm back on the CFL bandwagon. My knees are getting sore. From Ray in the 6. And that's what the CFL people were all saying. I'm telling you, they're like, they'll come back. And you're all back. So that's good. Maybe the pandemic hasn't hurt them at all. What did Darren Bombing say here yesterday from CFL 360 and NHL.com? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. There's no doubt. We missed it. Brady in Saskatoon. And stay with me on this, okay? Habs fan, right? Hey, Rod. Habs with a big win. They ain't no slouch like you, Rod, made them seem. Now we go back to Montreal in front of 3,500 fans. That'll sound like 35,000 fans. I swear to God. We got a series and one that has shifted in Montreal's favor. Go, Habs, go. Brady, a little higher up on the text string here is you saying this series is over after the Golden Knights won Game 1 4-1.
How about that?
So don't come at me. Tired of it. Leonard writes from the 536, the Montreal Canadiens train has lots of room. LOL. Yeah, we'll get on it. And we'll take him to the train station. Choo-choo. Exactly. Speaking of, as we look at the sports update here, Carey Price made 29 saves as the Montreal Canadiens beat the Vegas Golden Knights 3-2 to tie up their Stanley Cup semifinal 1-1. Joel Armia, Tyler Toffoli, and Paul Byron scored for Montreal. Game 3 goes Friday at the Bell Center. If you were watching earlier, the sober coach to the Stars, Bob Merrier, is an associate with mine. He's writing me up all morning. He's watching the show right now. Montreal fans are annoying. And he's proving it. Leafs fans are annoying too, but for a different reason. Anyways, to the NBA. Both conference top seeds are on the brink of elimination in the NBA playoffs. The Los Angeles Clippers beat the Utah Jazz 119-111 last night to take a 3-2 lead in their Western Conference semifinal. Kawhi Leonard did not play due to a knee injury. Earlier, Atlanta took a 3-2 series lead over East top seed Philadelphia. The Hawks came back from a 26-point deficit to beat the 76ers 109-106. Garrett Cole pitched 8 effective innings. Pinch hitter Gary Sanchez connected for a 2-run homer, and Aroldis Chapman dodged trouble in the ninth as the Yankees held off the Blue Jays 3-2 in Buffalo. Marcus Semien and Kevin Biggio homered for Toronto, which has lost 3 straight in 5 of 7. Ross Stripling had 9 strikeouts in taking the loss. And we addressed it in the warm-up. Ross Stripling losing his mind on Joe Panik on the mound for muffing that throw to first. Did you see the highlights? He tried to barehand it and didn't just draw Vladdy off the bag. He was nowhere near the bag. And Stripling turned and yelled at him, but he did immediately apologize after the game. Heat of the moment stuff. Blue Jays are still family. Have you snapped on a member of your family lately? Who hasn't? So we're good with Ross Stripling. Jacob deGrom was pulled from a second straight start with an arm injury, but the Mets bullpen stepped up to finish a 3-hitter in a 6-3 win over the Cubs last night. deGrom left the game after 3 perfect innings with right shoulder soreness. And Aaron Savali became the first pitcher with 10 wins in the majors this year. And Jose Ramirez homered and drove in 3 runs as Cleveland beat the Orioles 8-7. This sports update for the Tap Brew House and Drive-Thru Liquor Store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. I might do a Great Western Ultra moment here. I might. Unless you can entertain me with your comments and questions here. John in Edmonton, he's back. The one that was upset with the CFL schedule. He said, I wonder when the CFL will announce fans in the stands. It's a good question, and you see stuff's rolling out day by day by day, and for the most part, it's all positive. In the rectangle here yesterday, the Premier said they said full capacity for Rider games. And things are rolling, man. So that August 6th game, Saskatchewan, BC at Mosaic Stadium is going to probably have 33,000 people there. And at Manitoba, just shot past us in terms of over 70% of people have at least one shot. So you got to think the Blue Bombers are going to be full capacity soon. Alberta seems to be on track. Now they're all upset. I don't have time to go back and forth with the Habs fans. Wah, wah, wah. What else do we have? Ali Hicks, top of the morning RP show from downtown Edmonton. I wish the show wasn't preempted from Game Plus TV too, but Kevin streams your show to our big screen to watch the entire show in the evening. Go Isles. Go Vegas Golden Knights. Go Riders. Have a great day. If you were missing earlier, I found it funny. I've had a lot of people writing me saying, who do I talk to? Who do I email at Game Plus about you being bumped this week? I said, here's the email for Sean. Tear them apart. Let's get this whole country going on that we can't have the RP show bumped from Game Plus TV. And these are hockey guys, one in Lethbridge, one in Nanaimo, NHL guys. And I just find it funny. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, you want to know the definition of annoying fans? Monday, November 25th, 2013, Rider Nation. Well, we earned it. You got to at least give us the opportunity after the greatest day in provincial history to let our puff our chests a little bit. Because the potentially almost the worst day in provincial history was the 13th man incident in Calgary at the Grey Cup, which happened in your town. The worst day in provincial history, of course, was the Humboldt Broncos crash. So there's no number 2 on that one. But yeah, after that Grey Cup in 2013, you got to at least understand why we went nuts on that one. We're going to get Moose back here. We'll jump into viewer takeover next segment. Whatever you want to talk about. Can we hear from some new people? Let's do that. On the way, Justin Bourne from Sportsnet, a veteran of The Athletic. You're watching the RP Show today on YouTube and Facebook Live and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. The RP Show continues. Tell your friends. Moose DuPont is back. He's doing business back there in the back.
Yeah.
You having a good day?
Having a great day.
That's good.
Yeah. How can you not?
Live on YouTube and Facebook. No Game Plus this week due to Blast Premier. Whatever that is. Let's look at the...
Looks pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I was watching a little.
Really? The poll question here for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, which we have not even mentioned yet. Who will finish first in the CFL East in 2021? Isn't it nice to actually be talking about this stuff? Mm-hmm. And running away with literally 64% of the vote are the Hamilton Tiger Cats. On Facebook, they say 53%, Clark tells me. For whatever reason, there's a bug in Facebook today, and we couldn't show you the results. But Hamilton's leading in both polls. But just on Twitter, Hamilton 64%, followed by Toronto with 20%, Ottawa 10%, Montreal 6%. And it really muddles things up that the West has 5 teams and there's only 4 options on Twitter. Do you ever envision a day that Twitter will add to their options for their polls?
I don't know.
It would make life a lot easier for us.
Wouldn't it?
Like all CFL votes. Who's the coach of the year? Who's the most outstanding player?
And
right?
we have to leave somebody out.
You can't
and then
leave...
we look like jerks. Why'd you leave me out of the poll?
Yeah. How about that?
Like, it's tough.
Some people love it. Yeah.
There's only 4 options.
So I'm checking the comments here because I said it's viewer takeover. Faye Lowther writes in, Rod, you know we love you, but I just have to say again, can't wait to see the best kicker, Brett Lowther, kicking. Go Riders, go Truro, Nova Scotia. There's room, Faye, in your heart for both of us, I think. Your son and me, I would hope. Why has it got to be one or the other, Darren?
I know.
That's the entrepreneur mentality. How about everybody?
How about everybody? There's room for everybody.
Ryan McCarthy says in New York, says, I envision a day when there's an edit button on Twitter as well. Have you noticed that if you can now pay like $3.49 a month for a special edition of Twitter that allows you to, I think, edit your tweets and stuff? I'm not joking. I just had that sent to me the other day. And it wasn't spam. It wasn't a scam.
Hey, there's no edit button in life. Once you put it out there, it's out there.
But screenshotted, yeah, but you get the point.
Yeah, interesting. Probably worth it, I would say, for a lot of people.
I feel like they're having a whole party in the comments section here from CFL fans that I'm not a part of. They're talking about merchandise and supply chains and ticketing. And if this is where CFL fans come to talk on a daily basis, I'm all for it. Right? I just have no idea what they're talking about there.
Oh, yeah.
Can we do the Great Western Ultra Update? How do you feel about that, Darren?
Let's do it.
And my guy, don't start yet, but I got my guy, Bob Merrier. We're going back and forth. Sober coach to the Stars. He's flying from Vegas to Miami right now. Still chirping me about the Habs winning last night. They're so annoying, Montreal fans.
I know.
Well, I'm still going to cheer for Carey Price. And that is the topic of the Great Western Ultra Update. You ready? Let's go! We have a series. Actually, we have 2. Both the Stanley Cup semifinals will go at least 5 games following Montreal's 3-2 win at Vegas Wednesday night. That affair is tied 1-1, as is the Islanders' Lightning best of 7. Clearly, as a staunch Golden Knights fan, I was not in favor of Wednesday's result. However, I was in favor of Carey Price standing on his head again. The Montreal goaltender is the greatest goalie of our time. To be frank, I loathed a Montreal-Vegas matchup because I didn't want to have to cheer against Carey. But here we are. It feels like the Anaheim Lake BC product has been around forever. But at age 33, Price has a lot of years left. And they'll assuredly be spent with Montreal after this remarkable run the Habs are on. Are they a flash in the pan? Or is this the start of a years-long trend of the Canadiens being a contender? Who knows? But Carey Price remains the cornerstone of it all. And finally, GM Mark Bergevin has added enough up front that Carey doesn't have to go into God mode every game in order to win. In fact, on Wednesday, he wasn't overly special. He made 29 saves, and a lot of them were great. But Vegas can look in the mirror for why they were unable to go up 2-0 in games. They couldn't score on the power play. They couldn't hit the net. And Max Pacioretty had a hole in his stick. It happens. But the Canadiens are heading home to Montreal at dead even, which is a lot more than most can say when they spend a few days in Vegas. I still have the Golden Knights to win this series in 6, but as I said, it's hard to cheer against Carey Price. So no matter how it turns out, it looks like a win-win to me.
That's pretty good.
How about
that?
Well done.
Right on cue. I feel dirty cheering against Carey Price. What can I say? I love the guy. I've always loved the guy. Back to the Tri-City Americans days, I called his games. And I don't know how, though. I wish we could air this, the NHL Edits TikTok video. I was blown away last night when I saw this. It was sent to me from a guy from CTV. How would you explain that TikTok video that was done by NHL Edits?
They wanted to do a video showcasing Carey Price, how great he is. And they compiled, like you see in videos, compiled some of the biggest media names, talking about him. And we see this all the time when we watch documentaries, whether it's NFL films, documentaries, and they pull Colin Cowherd talking about the guy, and they pull Dan Patrick, and they pull ESPN, and and so they had John Liu talking about Carey Price and coming back, and then they had you talking about how Carey Price deserves a cup, and Mike Johnson, and they had all these names, but
it's unbelievable.
John Liu was first. You were right there. Like it was cool that they'd pick our show, and we're at that level now, I guess.
Well, I know the Game Plus guys were very excited to have been put in that group.
Right.
I guarantee that they were. So we're going to take a timeout. And when we come back for the second half kickoff of the Four Seasons Sports Palace, it's more of what you want to talk about. Please, would you please include us in your discussion? CFL fans from all across the country are chiming in today. We didn't get into this joint practices talk. We haven't got into some of the things I wanted to talk about with the CFL, and we got big Stanley Cup playoff things to talk about. And Justin Bourne joining us from Sportsnet next hour as well. So stick with us through the break. We're coming up with Hour 2 on YouTube and Facebook Live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Hey, Rod Rod Squad? Now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show. Official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Now,
ta-da! I'm living proof, baby. Miracles happen.
How about that?
You laugh, Alan, but Google's bailed me out of a lot of things. I'm telling you, I had muscle cramps. It said eat walnuts, almonds, and bananas. I've been eating them like crazy. No cramps. Who needs doctors when you got Google?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome to Hour 2, everybody. No breaking news, but we're out of the gate with the second half kickoff brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Seattle Kraken fan club. And I know we got Jen from the Four Seasons watching right now. Hopefully we can get the Greek Freak tuned in. I got to get down there, Darren, but as I think you know, I've lost almost 30 pounds and I've had like no pizza at all in a couple of months. So dieting and pizza don't necessarily go together. And it's like if you're going to go to the Four Seasons, you're going to go for all the right reasons. And it's pizza and their boneless dry ribs, which are the best in the world.
Well, I've been doing the pizza from Four Seasons for a lot of hockey games.
Very good.
It is very good, but yeah, trying to get back on the skinny here.
Mm-hmm. Well, you too.
Of course.
Get on the pink drink, man.
Gotta look good.
It's working.
All right.
It's so funny here, by the way. I was saying to Darren, we're talking CFL, and all the comments were CFL. Then I do the Great Western Ultra update and talk about Carey Price and machine gun of Carey Price comments from the viewers. For instance, Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, how high will Price rank in all-time best Canadian goalies with no cups? It's a pretty open question. It is. But as Chris Bird in Toronto says, Price does have Olympic gold, so there's that. I mean, you're going to take a Stanley Cup over Olympic gold. Anybody will. You're going to take Stanley Cup over anything, including a Hall of Fame induction. It's crappy because if you put Carey Price on the 93 or 86 Habs, they're winning a Stanley Cup, or the late 70 Habs, they're winning 4. It's not Carey's fault that the team hasn't been as good.
That's right.
So how do you say he's not as good as Ken Dryden when he's probably every bit as good, but he doesn't have Guy Lafleur and Steve Shutt and Guy Lapointe, Larry Robinson? It's not Carey's fault.
Well, now it kind of feels like Carey's sitting back being like, I don't care what you guys do. I'm gonna make sure we win. I'm just gonna play so good. Just go out, get me 1 or 2 goals, and I'll take care of the rest. That's how it feels.
Jeff in Winnipeg says, I'm a big Price fan. It would be cool to see him win a cup for his stellar career. Wayne in Victoria, BC, I agree with most of what you said, but it's not a win-win for me if the Habs win. Sorry, folks. I'm not sure what he means by that, but I'm sure it makes sense to him. And from Nelson Hakowich, our VP of Sim Events, he says, it's awkward when you're the only person cheering for Vegas in a pub full of people cheering for Canadian interest. I'm sure, but don't be afraid to stand alone. That's one thing I noticed when I was a Coyotes fan for a while when my friend Gary owned the team. I didn't have anybody to talk Coyotes with around here. I couldn't talk Coyotes in Phoenix, let alone here. And then I was kind of, getting into the Oiler thing again because that was my team growing up. That was nice. There's a lot of Oiler fans around here. You could talk about the games. What'd you think of Mike Smith last night? Everybody had an opinion.
Yep.
And now with the Golden Knights, at least there's more fans for them than the Coyotes. Like I told you when I was golfing with Edmund Bellegarde, the chief of the File Hills First Nation, he goes, the Knights are my second team behind the Oilers. And I'm like, good. We have lots to talk about then. There's a lot more Golden Knights fans coming.
They're coming quick.
Well, because they're on TV all the time.
That's true. When you're on TV, winning helps for sure.
Exposure.
Look at all the Canadians in that organization. A lot of Canadians on the ice. I think the most, right? We talk about of the teams that are left. The management, right? There's a lot of Canadians in that organization. So there's a lot of similarities and a lot of connection to Vegas.
Randolph Zora, watching in Ontario, says, I was reading Rob Vanstone's book on the Riders. He said the men's rooms in Old Taylor Field had troughs to tinkle in. I know they weren't modern, but I don't remember troughs. Oh, yeah. They had troughs right up until the end, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was disgusting. There was really nobody that wanted to keep Taylor Field. I mean, nobody. Since we're not on national television, I can let out the reins out a little bit here with a story. It's not, don't worry, not anything too crazy, but the Spokane Chiefs had an arena called the Boone Street Barn, and I loved going there with the Pats and Raiders as the road team. It was an old theater, and the walls were all glass. The outside walls were glass. So when you're walking around the concourse, you could see downtown Spokane. Beautiful city. And then a huge stage at one end. So people would sit up on the stage. They'd crowd. This is like in the 80s and 90s, man, before it was a thing to have a party in the end zone. Do you know what I mean? They were doing it in Spokane years ago. And the boards were like this. You'd hit them. Sound like you broke every bone in a guy's body when you hit him in Spokane. Like this. So anyways, they were going to tear that thing down and build what is now Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, potentially the nicest arena in the Western Hockey League. It is so beautiful. But I remember walking up to old Westy, Westy, the voice of the Chiefs. Now he's with Tri-City, and I said, Westy, I'm really going to miss the Boone Street Barn, man. Like, it's so awesome. He's like, miss it? Have you talked to Westy? He's so dry and cynical. He's like, I'll take a leak on the parking lot that this thing miss it? Piss all over the Boone Street Barn. I'm like, well, I never forgot that. That was in about 1994. And I thought that about Taylor Field because every time that I went in to call a game, and nobody's called more games there than me in the history of that place, there would be a dead pigeon on my desk or bird crap all over. You've called games in there. It was disgusting. And that's just what we had to put up with, not the least of which the 18 health and safety codes with bathroom, God knows what, running from the down. You know what I mean? Like, it was... Nobody was sad to see that place go. And that's what Westy was saying about the Boone Street Barn.
Yeah.
It's okay to come into 10 days a year as a fan, maybe. But when you go there to work every day, sorry to go totally off on that.
You're sad about it because of the memories, right? And
I really wasn't.
You fell in love with the team in that place, and that's the stuff you miss. And you don't get that same feeling in the new building. But the kids do, because this is where their memories are being made. Exactly. So they're going to feel the same way about it as you felt about Taylor Field or the old arena in Spokane. Man, that's cool. And I can hear him doing, because every time he comes into Saskatoon or Regina, pulls up a chair, sits down with Les, and starts chatting. And it's just the greatest conversations.
There's something about him that reminds me of Jay Leno a little bit.
Yep.
Really big chin.
Big chin and kind of the voice a little bit.
The voice, too.
Character. We'd love to get him on here. It'd be great.
Jennifer at the Four Seasons, by the way, says dry ribs on special today, too.
Shouldn't have told me.
How about that? If I didn't have to tape a show right after this, I'd go down there for lunch. Nelson says the Knights are exciting to watch. A lot of teams have realized they can do well and win a cup without superstar talent by having a strong defense. Vegas flies around the ice at such a pace, a lot of teams can only keep up with them for one period. I don't know what Montreal did right last night. They went in and said they had a plan for Vegas, and they clearly executed it. The Knights were just off all night, and I'm not concerned about how this series is going because the Knights aren't going to have many off nights. What has me confident here is that the best team will win in a 7-game series. I've always had Vegas in 6 in this series, and that isn't changing. What's going on, Moose? What's on your phone here?
Just business.
Yeah. Darnell Theris from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. You guys want to run the Rockstar, the guitar right over here? There you go. Rockstar of the Day. They sponsor it. He says, when you are short, the troughs were especially gross.
How about that?
Yeah, the guy in Ontario, Randolph, said, did they once have troughs? What do you mean once? We had them right up until the time our wrecking ball went through that place. Right to the end.
And because it was such a staple and rider games are just part of our lives in Saskatchewan, that when you go across the street to the Brandt Center, into the bathroom, and there's a circle water fountain, like the hand washing station where you use the pedal with your feet.
Yeah.
People think that's the trough and they want to pee in that. And it's like, no. That's where we wash the hands. So they get all confused.
I was telling you this when we were doing Pats games this spring. There's a huge trough, but it's granite. It's not the disgusting ones that were in Taylor Field. In the Brand Center, where God's team, the Regina Pats, play, there's these granite troughs. Like you said, you walk up and step on a pedal and the water comes out. And when I was in grade 2, we were at the Agribition Rodeo Cabaret, and my cousin Wade's dad, Gary Beck, walks up and hangs it out and takes a leak in that thing. I'm like, I was 7 and I knew that you don't do that. What are you doing, Gary? And what do you say when he's a dad? And we're 7. Ew.
You're washing your hands. It's like,
probably laughed our ass off is what we did. So stunned. That's funny. John in Edmonton says grade 2 back in the year 18 BC. Am I that old? Oh, ta-dun-dun.
That's good.
By the way, with Darnell there from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions, I want to say that Rod Black was the rock star of the day yesterday. There you go.
That's what we were looking for.
That's what I was asking for. The rock star of the day was Rod Black, and today's contestants are Mike Morreale, the commissioner of the Canadian Elite Basketball League, and Justin Bourne of Rogers Sportsnet, who's going to be joining us in moments. And if you weren't watching an hour ago, I don't know why you wouldn't have been, but we talked about the biggest news in the CFL today, which I think is big news. I mean, what I think is big news is a lot of times different than what you people think is big news. But the Riders and Bombers are they're discussing joint practices to be held in Regina, joint scrimmages, if you will, ahead of the regular season. And I guess my first thought when I heard that was good. But then my second thought was, well, if you're not allowed to have exhibition games, period, because of COVID controls, why are you allowed to have joint practices? Because you're still going to be contacting. Joint practices are just another fancy new word for scrimmages. And then when people heard this, they're like, is it going to be at Mosaic Stadium? Can I get in? Right? Everybody wants to get in and watch these joint practices. It's for football purposes, period, to evaluate their players better. But the inkling that I hear is that these joint practices are going to be cleared. It's going to happen. And then you got the BC Lions sitting out there as the 9th team saying, what about us? We don't have anybody to have a joint practice against. This is a competitive imbalance. They will launch a complaint. They absolutely will. The question is,
does it
go anywhere?
Yeah. Does it hold any water? I don't think it should. I don't think it will. I think, you know what? That's tough. And you know what? When we can travel, you're going to have to make a point of traveling to have a joint practice with somebody if that's the case. If you're allowed to. Present a plan, get it approved, and maybe somebody like Calgary, Edmonton, Saskatchewan, maybe they have 2 joint practices. A couple of days here and a couple of days with BC. I don't know.
From John in Edmonton, he says Edmonton and Calgary are playing that too, says Terry Jones. So they're going to have controlled scrimmages. So I'm not going to be the jerk or that guy and say, how come they're allowed to do that when they can't have preseason games? Clearly, the government has said you can do it. So good for them. But the slogan of COVID isn't we're all in this together. COVID-19 sucks to be you. So it's going to be BC Lions, sucks to be you. Sorry. Dale Barazuk, before we break, he says, can you touch on this fast? I'm sorry, touch on what? Dale's a great guy. He wrote in earlier with some comments. He watches every day with his son. And he had some nice comments earlier. What would you like us to touch on? We'll have to break and come back and touch on it later on Viewer Takeover, okay? Because when we come back, Sportsnet's Justin Bourne will join us to chat Stanley Cup playoffs. You're watching the RP Show, preempted this week from Game Plus TV, so we are live on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio. For Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, We are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Just ahead of Justin Bourne joining us from Sportsnet. He said he's going to be a couple minutes late, so I'll get to the question from Dale Barazuk. Great guy, by the way. He says, good morning. Beautiful across the country, which it is today. He says, my son and I are watching as always. Great job going on there. Question, do not all athletes have to have tests done? I think of steroids, drugs, HIV, others. I haven't thought of COVID in the same context as I mentioned. Keep up the great work, all. Thanks again. My son says, go Elks. How about that? Blah.
How about that?
They're getting fans.
Oh, yeah.
The Elks are getting fans.
And people are excited to post the gear that they've ordered online.
I know.
It looks good.
Actually, my guy, Reed Johnson from the XFL Mark podcast, I was on it yesterday out of Seattle, and he went to a bar last night in Seattle wearing all Elks gear because he's chosen that as his team. He's already got Elks gear. Wow. That's going to be his rooting interest. So I like it. And I also like that people in Calgary are calling it elk season.
Hunting season.
Elk hunting season.
They're all going to have printed off fake tags.
Mandy in Edmonton says, is it just me or does it seem like no Tiger Cats fans chime in here? That's a two-part answer. Number one, they don't like me in Hamilton. Which it's not mutual. I don't care about Hamilton. I don't think about them. But they don't like me at all in Hamilton. And two, a lot of them watch on YouTube because we can see it. Because their avatars come up and their, what do you call it? Their digital geographic, I guess, or geotag says they're in Hamilton. Wait a minute. Now that I think about it, Hamilton's in our top 10 for viewership. They watch on Facebook. They watch. They don't say anything.
Yeah. So I think for the most part, they're okay with you. I think there's a few people in Hamilton that don't like you.
Well, please tell me the second Justin Bourne's ready to go. But Charleston Hughes was in here the other day. Did I say this on the air? I can't remember if I said it on the air or not. Chucky's like, I was going to get Brandon Banks on my podcast, and I find out you got a beef with him too, or whatever it is. He's like, what are you doing, Rod? And I'm like, I don't think it's me. But yeah, I don't think Speedy B's over it. Simone Lawrence, you said more than a few people. Bob Young gets it.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff in Winnipeg says, Hamilton doesn't like Rod more than Calgary? Come on now. I'll survive. John Ohm in Winnipeg. What's the beef with Hamilton, Rod? I just said it. I said that Simone Lawrence was a thuggish type of player. That was the quote that just sent them around the bend. And then Brandon Banks said, I said that he shouldn't have won the most outstanding player the last season they played. It should have been Cody Fajardo, and his head popped off his shoulders. And it touched off a weekend-long back and forth between me and him, what just happened to be Grey Cup weekend.
That's right. That he was playing in.
Okay, how's your focus? Anyways, Justin Bourne just sitting down at the table and getting ready to... I'm excited to visit with Bourne, by the way. Son of course, Islanders great. Bob Bourne, pride of Netherhill, Saskatchewan, Saskatoon Blades alum. Let's get him on the screen. How you doing, Bornie? Great to see you, my man.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
I don't know if I can find you on Wikipedia or so forth for your birth date, but with this Islanders renaissance, Justin, I just wonder if it's bringing back any memories of your childhood or how you feel about how deep New York's gone here in a couple of springs.
Well, I'm loving it. I can't say that I remember any of the Stanley Cup years that my dad was involved in, but I have a lot of Islanders memories that came after my dad was an Islander. Being around Nassau Coliseum, I actually married Clark Gillies' daughter, another product of Saskatchewan there. So I've been back plenty of times and have an undying allegiance to the Islanders and the Coliseum. So this has been awesome. A lot of fun for me.
I actually forgot about that. Clarky told me that. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, Clark was just on with us last week. My God, he has not stopped smiling for a couple of months here. But I'm going to ask you a couple questions that I asked Aaron Dreger the other day. Why is it that the Islanders seem to have flown under the radar, Justin? Nobody had them picked to go this far. By the way, I had a Vegas Islanders Stanley Cup pick before this started. But why do they not get the kudos?
It's just they're just decidedly unsexy. You know, you look at that roster and you go, where is it? Show me Nate McKinnon or Connor McDavid or, show me these elite guys. And it's like, well, we can't. Matt Barzal's pretty good, but we can't do that. But what they do is good old-fashioned hockey. They play in their system. They got a real physical edge to them, and they're not a dirty team. So it's a nice sort of balance of physicality while staying out of the box. And they defend well. They defend the house more than anything, right? It's not like they clog up the neutral zone like the New Jersey Devils back in the day. They really just keep they forecheck aggressively, but in their own zone, they keep everybody to the outside. So when you watch them in the regular season, it's tough to look at them and go, boy, that's a cup contender. They're as good as whoever. But every time you play them, it's just like they're a tough team to beat 4 times. So the Lightning have their hands full.
Yeah, no doubt. And they knew that going into the series. By the way, Tom Geiger watching, he says, Kindersley is loving having another Bourne on the show. So I got to ask, Kindersley, Netherhill, I think on your dad's hockey DB it says Netherhill. But where were you born, Justin? Long Island?
I was born in Long Island, yeah. But don't worry. Every summer I was back on the farm in Netherhill and spent time buying scratch tickets at the co-op, visiting the family. So lots of Saskatchewan in the summers.
I was just going to ask you that. Forgive me for asking, but for the benefit of our viewers, what do you like about coming home to the motherland here? The Bermuda Triangle of the NHL, as I call it, right between Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton. What are your memories of coming back here?
Well, we had a farm in Netherhill for a lot of years. And mostly it's people. My family on that side, my aunts, my uncles, everyone are such good people. And when I would go visit, just getting to be with people from Saskatchewan, we've talked about moving there in the past. They had a summer home in Saskatoon and all that. So it's truly it always felt like home, and people were so welcoming. And still the majority of my family is Saskatoon based. So we love it. And my now wife has yet to see my side of the family or the farm or anything there. So I can't wait to get her out and our young son and daughter.
Well, no kidding. Well, I look forward to seeing you, and I'm so happy that we've connected over the years because I'm obviously a good friend of your dad's and Clark, of course. Pat's great. His bobblehead's right here, Clark. Sent that up to us, by the way, from New York. You said your desk is a little, you said it's missing something. Anyways, back to hockey. Can we dabble a little bit in the Vegas-Montreal series, by the way, and what you saw last night in Game 2?
Yeah, I just see a Montreal team that confuses me because, I mean, they keep winning, but I don't see it necessarily. They've had some fortune in this playoffs. John Tavares goes down in round 1. Mark Scheifele's out for suspension round 2, and now Chandler Stevenson's out in round 3. So that's worked out in their favor. But, hey, to their credit, they've got the job done. The biggest thing is starts of games. Like when they score first and they have Carey Price and they can kind of settle into their system, they're nearly impenetrable. But, you score first on them, they have to open it up. It feels like things fall apart for them. So the first 10, 15 minutes against Montreal is huge. And they've won that first 10, 15 minutes, I think 7 of the 8 last games they've played.
Yeah, I think I saw the stat that they are 8-1 when scoring the game's first goal. And last night, by the way, I'm a long-suffering Vegas Golden Knights fan. So I was like, when they got up 3-0, I'm like, I'm not feeling good about scoring 4 on Carey Price here right now. And actually, I had to look up his age this morning because it seems, Justin, like he's been around forever. He's only 33.
Yeah. No, it's insane. A lot of these guys that have been in the league a long time, you're like, wait, he's only 30. I called Mark Scheifele 34 years old the other day. He's 28.
Yeah.
So it is some context when the guys have been around a long time. You forget that they're not old men, but hey, it's a young man's game, and 33 is getting up there, which really, starts to make me feel a little bit dated. But yeah, he's not an old man yet.
Do you not still feel like I do that the best team will win a best-of-7 series? Like I had Vegas in 6, so I'm not too concerned just yet. But listen, there's got to put some doubt in your mind with what Montreal's doing. This is a special group.
Yeah. It feels like every year there's a team that is maybe not the best team in their series, but things just go well for them. Last year, I had Dallas losing every series they played until they went 6 games in the Cup final or whatever it was. So Montreal may be that team this year where I'm not sure. Actually, I haven't picked them in any series so far, but they're finding their way through. So, yeah, I do tend to believe it'll sort itself out, but Montreal keeps proving me wrong.
Jumping back to the other series, by the way, Game 3 tonight in Long Island, Islanders-Tampa. That series is tied 1-1. Obviously, I don't think you're surprised that it's 1-1 going back to Long Island. How much is that barn a factor for New York? I've never been, but like Clark's telling me, it's insane. My buddies that are going to the games, they say it's just rocking. Yeah. How big of a factor is it?
It's a real factor. I mean, last year you look at how things went for them. 2 years ago, they played the opening round in Nassau Coliseum and won, went to Barclays. They had to because of the scheduling or whatever. In the next round, never won another hockey game. I'm not saying they're directly correlated, but there's nothing there. It's just something about the acoustics in that place. And it also just like identifies or it plays into New Yorkers' identity that they're kind of a gritty crowd. It's an old cement block and it's unwelcoming and it just, it fits them well. So I think being a tough to play team, it's a tough building to be in for the opposing team. Fits perfectly.
So disclaimer, Clark explained why he crushed a beer can on his head in, was it Game 5? Game 4? Why he did it? Yeah. How did it feel that your father-in-law was doing that at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum?
Listen, it's amazing because as a player, he did what he had to do. He did what he had to do, and that has played through until I think he's 67 now. He did what he had to do. He matched the energy of the New York Jets O-lineman who was there doing it. He picked the crowd up. I think Barzal scored about 2 minutes later, and they never looked back. So, you can poo-poo it all you want, but New Yorkers love it. I love it. He's the difference.
Oh, I'm not poo-pooing it at all. Are you kidding me? And he said he'll do it as often as they have to if it means they're going to win. That was what he said, which wouldn't surprise you. But how do you expect this series to play out from here? There's no right answer per se, but what are you seeing ahead?
A lot of close games and overtimes. I just feel like Tampa is the better hockey team. If you do believe that the better team's going to win, I do think that the better team generally does. But as I said, beating the Islanders is not easy, and they make you earn it. So if it's going to be 2-1 in triple OT and 3-2 in double OT, maybe the Lightning get through. I just expect the way New York plays to not be a lot of fun and to make Tampa Bay really earn it if they're going to find their way to defending the cup.
Well, please tell me what you thought about the officiating in Game 2, if you don't mind, because everybody seems to have an opinion on it.
Well, I think the officials have a tough job, and I'm not one of the guys who tends to pile on. You know, I saw Carey Fraser tweet yesterday that there's immense pressure on those guys that isn't self-inflicted or inflicted by the other teams, but by the league. And there's a certain way they want them to call these games, and it's impossible for us to know what their directives have been. So I tend to refrain from saying it was terrible or it was great. Well, no one ever says it was great. They only say it was terrible. So I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes and behind the ears of those guys. So it's tough to know where it's coming from sometimes.
Well, I don't doubt that at all. But my point is, when you've got video replay and they use it ad nauseum, I don't blame the 4 guys on the ice. They're human. I blame the 4 guys in the room that have a chance to look at it 18 different angles in slow-mo and HD. Will that ever be fixed, do you think?
Well, you know, the more video we introduce, the murkier we're making things. It's not clearing anything up. Like, you know, we introduced video for goalie interference. Like, I'm more confused now. Like, you want to watch something in slow-mo 6 times to get a sense for it? Like, I don't think you can. You need the context of the run of play and the emotions to determine what feels across the line and what doesn't. You know, I don't know that we're going to get to a place where they're going to say we're going to do less video review, but I do think that it's not helping matters right now. So I don't know what the answer is, aside from all of us just accepting that we're going to get it wrong sometimes, and it's human, and that's just the way it's going to be.
You sound like my co-host, Darren. I just can't accept that with technology now. I just can't, because guys are getting fired out of this, right? Anyways, my last one for you, Justin, is how are you enjoying the Tim and Friends thing and the Sportsnet thing? I just love watching you on there. You look just right at home. How are you feeling about it?
It's been great. No, it's been really cool. I remember in university, I was an assistant captain on our hockey team, and they asked me to speak to the boosters, thank the boosters at the end of the year. And I literally said no. I couldn't public speak. I dropped classes where you had to give a presentation. I hated all of it. But, you know, I've gotten more confident and comfortable in my skin as I've gotten older. For some life changes have played a part of that, I think, which you and I have discussed. And that, you know, it's really put me in a place where I'm enjoying this, I'm comfortable, and I feel like I have my wits about me. So it gets easier every day, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it matters, I'm proud of you, because I've seen it. I've known your career all the way up. And to see this now, it's just awesome, and I can see how much fun you're having. So, Justin, thanks. Enjoy the rest of the playoffs, and hopefully we can do it again down the line.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me, man. A lot of fun.
Justin Bourne joining us from Sportsnet out of Toronto, the son of Islanders legend and Blades legend, Bob Bourne. Moose is here, and he'll... There he is. We'll be right back with another sports update and viewer takeover, overtime, and we'll see what else comes up. It is the RP Show on Game Plus TV network, just not this week due to Blast Premiere. YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Well, when I first started playing, the scholarship was so important to me. Like, I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a gas station, and I used to actually line the field for the team to get paid, just to make some extra money.
I think for me, the opportunities that the scholarships provide is very important, or very specifically the stress it alleviates for myself.
The Rams give me the opportunity to buy everything that I need to get the best grades that I can, and that'll lead to me getting hopefully the best job that I can in the future.
There wasn't a scholarship opportunity with the Rams. You know, I know that life would have been a lot more difficult for myself.
I'm not too sure exactly how much longer I would have been able to play beyond my first year.
With the opportunity that they provided for me to go through school with the financial support and with the opportunity to continue to play football, now that I look back on it, was the most important thing in my life.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, hey, hey. What was the direct text, Clark? We just got a text from one of our guys at Great Western. It should be the original 16 Ultra update. So that's what we had.
Maybe you said something different.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Superior taste with only 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise. I must have said something incorrect, but it is the Great Western Original 16 Ultra Up. Listen! I'm not a beer guy anymore, so I'm getting it confused.
Maybe Nelson.
No excuse.
Nelson can take the audio from this read, put it over the other one, and then your mouth will just do weird things.
Mr. Ed. Sports update. The New York Islanders and Tampa Bay Lightning resume their NHL semifinal tonight. The series is tied 1-1 after the team split the first two games in Tampa. It's a 6 p.m. Mountain faceoff tonight. The Milwaukee Bucks hope to stave off elimination tonight in their second-round NBA playoff series against the visiting Brooklyn Nets. The Nets lead 3-2 in the series. The home team has won every game of the series so far. You know what they say, you're never in trouble till you lose at home.
That was going to be our poll question.
Stupidest phrase ever. And I've said that if I hear somebody say that, I'm going to reach out and slap them. Problem is, I haven't seen anybody say it. I've seen people tweet it. I want to reach through Twitter and virtually strangle them. Never in trouble till you lose at home. Homer series, you're going to sit there losing in a Game 7 on the road and go, but we're not in trouble yet. This series shouldn't be over. We haven't lost at home yet.
Problem
you get
is,
it.
You didn't win on the road either.
The problem is you didn't win on the road either, exactly. We're not supposed to be in trouble. Toronto Blue Jays look to snap a 3-game losing streak tonight. The Jays are home to the New York Yankees in the finale of a 3-game series in Buffalo. Toronto's record has slipped to 33-33. Jays now 8.5 games behind East, leading Tampa. I get why people are upset now. The Blue Jays are trending downwards.
Fast.
This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. From our viewers as we drop into viewer takeover early here. From Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, you know who says that? Wayne Gretzky. I don't care. He's wrong. You know what that reminds me of the other day when I just went after John Kirby in Edmonton for bitching about the schedule? And, he goes, well, there's a lot of people in Edmonton that feel that way, Rod. Then there's a lot of people that are bitchers.
Line them up.
Yeah, line up. So what? I don't care how many people agree with you. You're bitching and complaining, and it's inane and annoying. And if Wayne Gretzky says you're never in trouble until you lose at home, then he's wrong too. Why would I care? Eesh. William May and Lloydminster. Being a ref is like being a cop. You're never right. I honestly, I reffed. You must have reffed in your life. I hate it. And that's why I pretty much stay off refs' backs. I mean, I had CFL refs come up to me. You know, my years and years getting away out of the CFL, you're starting to realize a lot of things here. And one is, I never criticized CFL refs because I never played the game. I damn sure never reffed the game. So I wasn't going to get on a ref for making a call because I don't know. But with hockey referees, because I'd played it, reffed it, coached it, I was all over those guys' asses because I knew. But when I spoke that night at the Canadian Football Officials Association banquet, I was the guest speaker, if you can believe. They were all over me after. They're like, thanks for not crapping all over us, Rod. Thanks for being so nice to us. And I'm like, you don't understand. I've never been in your shoes, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas with the referees, I've been in their skates. You've ref football. I assume you've reffed hockey.
I've never ref football. Just
you didn't?
Just hockey. Just hockey.
It's a different perspective.
Yeah, it is. No, and I have a lot of official friends, too. Friends that are referees in football. And Mike Siona's one, right?
Mike Siona. Da, 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 da,
yeah,
da.
Steve Chisholm's another, right? There's a lot of, guys that we know. Todd Joyce. I could go on and on. But it's tough. I mean, I did it enough as a kid, and I'm like, I don't want to do this.
No,
for a long time.
I'm a certified hocky official, actually. Like, once you get it, do you lose it ever?
I don't think so, but you need to keep updating, I think.
Well, I haven't done that.
But I haven't either. But certified, yeah, for sure.
But that's just why anybody that's officiated that's watching right now, I think you could agree that sometimes you get caught watching the game.
I'm a fan.
Right, just skating up, and I know I did.
Yeah.
So I'd be skating up and down, got my whistle, and I'm like, ooh, that was dirty. And all of a sudden, you suck, ref. Everybody's like yelling at you. And I'm, wait. And then, boom, your arm goes up. You got to make the call. I think sometimes when that's a delayed call, it's because the ref was caught watching. You still see it now, even in the NHL, right?
Oh, yeah.
Until somebody starts yelling, then they make the call. I mean, he was not paying attention.
Well, it's the same thing. Braden's like, that's Braden Point. Let's see what he's going to do here. Braden Point. Whoa, what a move. And then they're upset. The goalie got knocked over. Oh, penalty, right? And it's just like, now I know the referees in the NHL, they're not like that. They're pros. They're pros.
Yeah,
I
was just a ham.
They're not you and I. They're pros.
I reffed enough to realize I never wanted to ref.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy by the name of Jeff Kravchuk. I'll never forget it. They were playing in Lang one night, and the people were all over him. I won't say who, but I knew who they were too. They were all over him all night long. And he finally just stopped, took his whistle off his finger, and put it down on the boards in front of him and said, you do it. Skated off the ice. That was the last time.
Done.
Ended them.
Oh, man. And the best, though, are like, people will disagree, but I think the best are Major League Baseball umpires. I really do. I think they're the best.
I don't know how they do it.
I mean, the plays that are bang, bang at first, or when a catcher's, throwing somebody out at second on a steal, like, they are, now, nobody's always, but like 99% of the time, they are always right. Like, the bang of the glove, like how they can get that like half step or quarter step on first base. Like, they're always right. It's pretty rare that they're wrong on those. It's amazing. I could never do it.
Chris Bird in Toronto says, I've caught myself muttering, pass that or shoot while wearing the stripes. Well, I'll tell you, one of those referees who is a CFL official, long-time one, a Grey Cup veteran, said to me at that banquet that night, he's like, sometimes he'll be standing on the field. I don't want to say where, right? Because that'll give you an idea. And he's like, he's like, a play will happen on the field, and he will go, he's like, I'll be saying to myself, you can challenge that. You know what I mean? And it's like, the coaches don't even know what's challengeable and what isn't. Not entirely, right? But the one thing about the refs, and I'll break and come back for overtime, but you can complain about the calls that they make. You can. It's part of the job. But you cannot ever argue that they don't know the rule book.
Oh, yeah.
They know the rules inside out. You may not like their interpretation of them, but you're never going to catch them on having the rules wrong. And I just think it's funny that some of these head coaches in the CFL, and probably every league, don't even know the rules themselves. But you know that's a fact.
It's their job. And to get to that level, you treat that the same way we treat our profession. Like we live, eat, sleep, breathe this, business and broadcasting, what we do, right? And we've refined this. You've refined it for 30 years, day in, day out, day in, day out. That's what officials do. Your coaches practice, players practice. They're watching, they're reading that rule book. They know it inside and out. So us watching the games once a week, we don't know more than they do, unfortunately.
Let's pause and come back for overtime and load up, if you don't mind, the text line, the Prairie Mobile text line at 306-840-8777. Viewer takeover is for you. So you can comment on Facebook or YouTube or text us. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be right back with overtime. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. The patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Get your early bird tickets by June 24th for a chance to win a truck, trailer, toys, and cash. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And Moose DuPont, it's overtime, and it's what we call viewer takeover, and I appreciate you all sticking through us or with us through the whole 2 hours today. A lot of you, even though some of you drive me nuts. I really appreciate it. Let's just say it the way it is.
Yeah.
I appreciate them, but some drive me nuts.
Of course. Of course.
From Trent Bruner, he says, Norway calling. The Islanders should have the advantage playing at home over Tampa. The Canadiens need the same type of game when that happens. Great interview with Morreale on the CEBL. Stay well, everyone. Thank you, Trent. Who's calling me from Wilmington, Delaware? Should I answer it on the phone or on the mic? I'm not going to.
Easy there, Shannon.
Yeah. Maybe it's Julio. How about that? Wilmington, Delaware? Who do I know in Wilmington, Delaware?
Somebody in Wilmington, Delaware is upset that we're not on Game Plus.
Exactly. For those that missed it earlier, I've got an avalanche of hate mail from people across Western Canada that were not on Game Plus TV this week, and they said, who can we contact? So I've given them all Sean McCormick's contact info at Game Plus. Roast them! And they're all hockey guys. I find there's something interesting about that.
Go blow up their Twitter feed.
Well, whomever it is has left a voicemail, Darren, so...
Oh, that's interesting.
Our post-show meeting could get very spicy.
Ooh.
Bo Halverson writes in, and he says, again, in the business of doing business, and business is business. It's from Brewster's Millions.
Yeah. What does 50 Cent say? I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man.
Brady in Saskatoon says, I drive you nuts, but I love you too, Rod. Brady, you drive me around the bend, man. But I do appreciate you.
How about that?
How about that? An update. This from the Canadian Football League. This came down this morning. The CFL is working with Health Canada to make rapid testing a key part of its health and safety protocols as its teams prepare to return to action this summer. Commissioner Randy Ambrosie said in a statement, the Government of Canada's provision of 60,000 rapid tests for use by the CFL is vitally important to our plan to keep our players, coaches, officials, and staff safe. It also allows us to keep our people and their workplaces safe in the most cost-effective way possible. We want to thank Health Canada, and we want other employees to know this type of support is also available to them. The rapid tests will be included in some provinces in the testing regimen used to keep players, coaches, and staff safe. They will also be used across the country to test other personnel, such as off-field officials and game day staff. The Government of Canada is making rapid tests available to employers like the CFL that either are operating or are set to reopen as part of the safe restart of the economy. So, as I read this, Darren, that's why it was difficult to predict if the CFL would come back or not, because we didn't know that this type of thing was a possibility.
Right.
Fair? So basically what I'm reading here is, because I'm a little slow on the uptake, is that the Government of Canada is providing free testing, or at least up to 60,000 tests for the Canadian Football League. And just another good sign that we're going to see CFL football this year. What do you think about this news?
Yeah, it's just, again, It's news showing you the hurdles and what they're overcoming and what's happening and what's going on. And that's all good. It's all good because it means that they're working to playing and getting on the field. And we know there's still hurdles, right? I mean, things are going to happen. We don't know what's the deal with if you've had a vaccination, if you haven't, if you decide you don't want one, if you do want one. Travel, all this kind of stuff. We know, the Eastern teams are coming west to start as we saw the calendar and the schedule get unveiled. It's all good. It's all trending towards playing, which is great. That's what we want to hear.
Mick is watching in Toledo, Ohio, where we are available on the Buckeye cable system. Just not this week. Mick in Toledo says, for all the RP haters, just remember, the RP show's loved by few, hated by many, ignored by none. Keep at it, boys. I feel like there's a compliment in there somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
Teddy Kleinsaucer is watching on Facebook, and he says, hey, I never heard whatever happened with the XFL talks. No, you didn't.
Not by accident.
That is the shell game of which is CFL football. Oh, my God. Funny that he would bring that up now.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the XFL podcast yesterday, and he's like, why is there no XFL talk right now? Psst, because they don't want to talk about it.
They want everybody excited for the season. They're still talking. I'm sure the conversations are still happening. You know what? And this is a big negotiating tool for both the XFL and the CFL. If they come back, now they're coming in August, and if the fans rush in and the TV numbers are great, all of a sudden CFL's got more bargaining power when they go to the table with the XFL. If it's not there, the XFL says, see, you need us, and here's what we're willing to do to help. We want the traditions and everything. We've got this. So it'll be interesting. This season will absolutely impact those discussions.
Well, it's going to be fun tomorrow. We'll be talking about all of that. Get your football questions ready for a Flame Tech Football Friday. We're going to have the general manager of the Toronto Argonauts, Pinball Clemens, and we'll have a member of the Ottawa Red Blacks with us, and my guess is it will not be quarterback Matt Nichols, who has me blocked on Twitter. We got another one! Thanks to Justin Bourne today and Mike Morreale. We'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern, right here on YouTube and Facebook on The RP Show. I'm not this renegade rogue tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist. I'm just telling you what's actually going on.